Hi guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here with just a little set of background papers to show you guys, and I thought we could make a kind of scrappy little journal from them. So I've just kind of piled these bits on top because I think they look super pretty when they've just got bits piled on the top. So these papers are called French Blue, and yeah, they're in my Etsy shop. They're a set of 13 background pages. 13 or 15, hold on, I might have miscalculated. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 background pages. So I'll just alter the camera slightly. As you can see, they are beautiful, vibrant shades of blue. They're blue with some teals and things like that as well. I absolutely loved making these. I don't know about you guys, but you know, I don't that often come across kind of really nice blue kits. So I thought that, you know, it would be fun to have some really beautiful kind of shades of blue papers in my shop. So these I've printed all back to back. So they're all printed back to back and they're all printed borderless. So I'm just going to show you through them so that you know what you're going to get. Again, obviously this one is more the teal type colours. You've got this gorgeous one here with all the lovely florals there. You've got this one with some little lampposts and things in the background. This one here with like the French label on there. I mean, they're really, really pretty shades, I have to say. This one here with the gorgeous window. This one here with the sweet little umbrella. This one here, again, mix of the kind of blues and the teals. This one, again, with the kind of lamppost and things and the little label. Then you've got this one, which I just thought, you know, super nice, just folded in half, just, you know, as a journal page, really. And then the final one is this one. So they're absolutely just, oh, such lovely shades of blue, really, really yummy. And obviously all of these, I've printed them on, I think this was 200 GSM sort of papery card. So it's much thicker than kind of your regular copy paper. And as I say, I printed them double-sided. And I'm going to go and coffee dye them. I haven't obviously coffee dyed them as yet, so hopefully they're going to still look absolutely scrumptious when they're coffee dyed. And then I'll be back, and I thought we could just make a sort of really nice scrappy kind of journal from them. So yeah, I will be back, and I will see you shortly. Okay, so I'm back. It's actually obviously a different day. I got kind of sidetracked and didn't end up cracking on with this. But I've got my papers now and they're all lovely and coffee dyed and, you know, feeling really nice now. And I've also got just a couple of pieces of actual vintage kind of ephemera that I'm going to kind of just mix in with my pages. Now, I want to make this a bit of a sort of smaller journal, a bit more basic, I guess, really, than the full-blown journals that we often make. So I'm just going to adjust my camera slightly. So what I want to do is kind of have my pages sort of roughly this depth, I think. So I'm just going to take some of my pages that I've coffee dyed and just fold them so they're roughly this kind of size, like that. Okay, so just take that like that, and I'll just use my bone folder and go down there. Now, obviously the pages are now smaller than they started out. So what you could do here is obviously you can fold them back on themselves and make little pockets. And that's just a super way, or super easy way really, to get pockets into a journal. You know, if you're using kind of pages that are bigger than your end page is going to be, that's going to be a super easy way to do that. So what I'm going to do is probably stitch around that on the sewing machine. Sorry, I've got a frog in my throat. I'm going to just stitch around that on the sewing machine. I haven't made a great job of folding that, so let me just go over it again. Yeah, and I'm just going to go over that on the sewing machine. I'm not going to do this for every single pocket, but just some of them. So just having a look. Sorry, my throat is really, you know, really annoying. Right, so again, let's just bring this in as a sort of semi-template. And again, just fold it down to roughly the size that I want them to be. I mean, I'm really not paying too much attention. I'm, you know, just literally folding them, you know, as and when kind of thing. So this one, do I want to have a pocket folded back? I mean, we could do, I know I said I wasn't going to do this with all of them. I'm really not going to do this with all of them. But, you know, equally, it is a really good way to just get pockets nice and quickly and easily. So that's those two. Let's just move those. I'll put those on my lap for a moment. And then this one, right, just having a look, kind of focusing now on bits that I might want to keep for actually decorating the journal up, and bits that I'm going to, or pages that I'm going to actually be using. So let's have a look. I think we'll go like that. So again, just fold that over like that. And then this one, I'm probably going to actually cut this down. So just so we've got a variety of different pieces. So I'm just going to cut this down. Just straight down the edge like that. Okay. And keep that to one side. This one, as you can see, this is a single-sided piece. So, you know, that also is going to be another page. So again, just take my pieces as my template. Looks like that. Okay. And then just squish that down. And then the other thing that I would like to do is have some irregular size pages. So not have every single page be in the same size as the previous page. So in a moment, I'm probably going to trim some of these down to make smaller, you know, some smaller pages too. So this one here, well, I guess this is one of the ones that we could do as a smaller page. So again, I'm just going to kind of go in roughly here and then just squish that down. And then what I'm going to do is just trim this down here on this edge like that. And then I'm also going to cut this down to make a couple of smaller size pages, just so that we've got a really good, or just so that we've got a really good eclectic mix of pages and paper sizes going on in the journal. So that's that one. I mean, again, I have not made a very good job of cutting that, but I mean, once it's in the journal, to be honest, it's not really going to be too obvious. It will, you know, it will blend in, and hopefully it will blend in and become a lot less obvious. So I'm going to go across to the sewing machine, I think, and just sew my couple of pages with the pockets. I also probably want a couple of plain coffee dyed pages in here. And I'm just wondering, do I want the coffee dyed ones, or I've got my food coloured ones? So I'm just going to grab up a couple of food coloured ones because I've got some in blue, which might look really pretty. Oh, that looks, yeah, that looks quite pretty, although it's quite green on the back. That's a bit too pale. This is where I will find I've got every colour except the perfect colour. I mean, that's not too bad. Perhaps we'll use that one. And perhaps we'll have, I mean, that's not too bad. Let me just see. I've got them all under my desk in my magazine files. So I'm just rummaging through, pulling in any that I'm, you know, that might do the trick. So bear with me a couple of moments. Oops. Okay. Oops, that one I've already been trimming. So, well, let's use that. And oops, that one's got a big splodge of pink on it. Okay, and then I think just maybe a coffee dyed colour sheet as well. So let me just grab in a coffee dyed coloured one. Oops, oh no. Oh. You name it, it's here under my desk, you know, the papers. I mean, my desk's still tidy underneath by a miracle. Right, okay. So that's my paper selection, I think. So I'm going to nip across to the sewing machine and just stitch those couple of pockets down, and then we will come back and start kind of looking to assemble. Okay, I'm back from the sewing machine, so let me just cut my pieces, or you know, my threads like that. Okie dokie. Right. So I'm just going to start kind of forming my journal here now. So obviously I want to have kind of my mix of different paper sizes. I also pulled in some of my nice navy list book as well, because I thought that would be nice in here. These are the pages that I'm hoping to use as my cover. So I've just taken, it's like a coffee table book. So they're obviously big pages, and all I'm going to do is glue these together and stitch around them. So we'll come to that obviously in a minute. So I'm just going to assemble some of my pages here. So let's have, yep, that one. Oh, I haven't cut down any of my food coloured pages yet. So let's get some of those going. So we've got that one. Just trim that down. So I might put that maybe there. Okay. And then this one here, I think. Okie dokie. And we'll just get some more. Again, just fold those over. And again, I'm just going to cut them down so that I've got, might do kind of a couple of, or a smaller one anyway. So that one, perhaps we'll have that here. And then do we want this one maybe in the middle, folded this way, so as we've got that gorgeous window. Might be quite nice, mightn't it? Okay, and then got a couple more pages there, like that. Got my plain page as well. And again, just, you know, I mean, I probably, yeah, let's have like that, I think. Maybe have this like here. Oops, and then this one, I think, in here. So as we've got, you know, a bit of coffee dyed paper and things breaking it up. Actually, I think probably it would be better like that. Okay, so that looks quite nice, doesn't it? I mean, that's actually not bad. You know, there's quite a few pages in there. Also, I had this like scoreboard thing. So I think we'll put this maybe here. And got this one now. This is from like a vintage kind of you know, theatre guide. Now I have to say, a bit disappointed because this is not very creamy coloured. It's quite white. I mean, it is vintage. It's, I think it was from the 50s, I think. So it's not that discoloured, which is a bit of a shame. Obviously, in an ideal world, I probably would now coffee dye this so that it took on a bit more of a, you know, browny vintagey look. But I hadn't really factored that in, obviously, when I was selecting my papers. So I don't really want to have to go off and just coffee dye this one thing. I don't know whether I even like that in there, to be honest. Do you know, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to take that out. We're not going to use that. I might get another... coffee dyed sheet. Let's just have a look. Well, that's probably enough, actually. I mean, that's quite a few pages, to be honest. By the time that's bound together, you know, it will be a sort of reasonably chunky-ish kind of size, to be honest. Yeah, so I think I'm going to leave that. Right, I'm just going to sit on that for a moment, just squashing that down. So all I'm going to do now is take my pages, which I'm just going to pull my journal back. We want them ideally to overhang slightly. So I'm just going to fold them in half and just see how big that would be. Okay. Okay, so that I think is going to work out okay. So let's squash those down. And then I'm just going to glue them together. Now, I'm not going to worry too much because I am going to stitch around the edge of here as well, but I just want to kind of make sure they're held together in some sort of format before stitching them. So, oops, like that. Come on, come on. Okay. And again, just take my glue spreader. Okey-dokey. And then we'll just turn it over and do exactly the same for these 3 sheets as well. So it's only 3 sheets, you know, thick. So it's not kind of too thick or anything. But hopefully 3 sheets is going to be, you know, sufficient. Okey-dokey. Okay. Again, just now take my glue spreader, spread all those. Okay, right, so I'm going to now just take these across to the sewing machine and just stitch around the edge. Okay, so I'm back. Now you can probably see, I mean, I didn't even trim off the edge. I left that kind of torn edge where I'd torn it out of the book. Personally, I quite like that. But I mean, of course, I realise that's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but I thought that was really quite, you know, quite nice. And what I want to do now is cover my entire book page with the sewing pattern paper. So just got some here, and I'm now thinking should have really cut this down before starting the video because it's used. Right, okay. So I'm going to, yeah, I'm just going to cut it down slightly so that I've not got such a huge piece that I'm trying to work with here on the camera, because of course that's not going to be great from a filming point of view. Okay. Right, now what I thought I would use for, you know, like decoupaging this on basically is my Patty Pockets stains, because this is also a glue. So it's, you know, it's going to stick it as well as, you know, as well as stain it. So yeah, I'm going to use that, I think. So I'm just going to, and I really don't mind if this is going to be quite, you know, grungy with creases and what have you. That's fine, because I want this to really have a, oh, I don't know, like a squishy, vintagey, you know, sort of yummy feel to this. So, you know, the more creases, the more scrumptiousness, the better, to be honest. So let's go for it. Okay. Okey-dokey. Okay, right. So I'm going to just paste on a good coat of this all the way over my front. Like that. Because I mean, sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but I think journals are just as much about the touchy-feely, you know, how squishable and lovely they feel, as they are about how they look. So, you know, obviously we all like different kind of textures, don't we? But I mean, I love a squishy journal. So yeah, I'm hoping that this is just going to have a lovely squishy kind of effect, really. So that's my front. Now, I probably should wait for that to dry, really, before doing the back, because otherwise I'm risking this getting just stuck to my desk. Yeah, I think I should probably wait for 5 minutes, because otherwise I might just end up with that stuck on the desk. So I'm just going to put the lid on and move this out of the way. So whilst we're waiting for that to dry, I also, I think, would like to have some doilies and things in here. So now I was going to stitch this on the sewing machine. I have to say I'm not sure whether I've gone too fat now. I might be okay, actually. Yeah, I might just about be okay. Right, let me go and, oops, look at that page. Might be okay, but that page is definitely not okay. Right, let's just put that in there again. Okay, right. And if I spread my pages out a little bit, then that might even the load, you know, from a sort of thickness point of view as well, you know, with the sewing machine. So just going to kind of stagger them around a little bit more. Like that. Okay, that one, and then I think these, if I just, again, kind of try and stagger them like that. Actually, this one I'm going to have the other way around. Maybe slightly higher. Okay, do we like that? I think this one needs to be slightly lower. Yep. Okay, like that. So I might just go and see if I can stitch these into the sewing machine. I might come unstuck. These may well be, you know, just too thick and the sewing machine might not like it, but fingers crossed. Okay, I'm back from the sewing machine, and whilst I'm at it, this is drier. I mean, it's not dry at all, but it's drier. So hopefully it's dry enough that it's not going to literally stick all over my desk. So just now peel this back. Doesn't matter, obviously, if it tears, you know, because I'm not going to be too fussy about this. So again, just going to use the stains and stick this side down as well. And then this can obviously be drying. Like that, okay. So you just want to get a good coating on there. Doesn't matter, as I say, you know, how it's looking or how it's applied. I just want to get it covered and, you know, stick it down. So like that, and again, just squish that down. Really not worried. I mean, I've got several wrinkles on here, but I really don't mind, you know, because I'm just going for texture. You know, that's all I'm trying to kind of get to, and hopefully we're going to kind of gesso and things like that over this as well. It's all a bit of an experiment today, so I haven't really kind of done this type of thing before, but hopefully it's going to work out okay. So probably best just make sure this is not stuck together, otherwise I will come unstuck. I will come unstuck, it won't come unstuck. So I'm just going to leave it to the side there to just dry off, and I'm just going to pull in my Scrappy kind of journal. Now I have to confess, went awry on my sewing machine. It was quite thick, so my sewing machine struggled to go through it, and subsequently I ended up kind of obviously going off completely off the line. So what I've tried to do is refold a little bit over, so that where it's kind of gone off, I've made like a sort of more, you know, larger sort of spine, if you see what I mean. So I mean, when you open it, I don't think it's too bad. I mean, these pages, they're a little bit kind of you know, hooked over the stitching, but it's not too bad. They're not, you know, they're not ridiculous or anything like that. And obviously towards the back, or, you know, the other side of the spine, they're wonderful and they open, you know, really, really well. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm not going to kind of stress about it. So we're going to just make some little pockets and tucks and just some very basic kind of embellishments to decorate this up with. Okay, so I thought what we'd do is we make some bits that we can use as pockets and tucks and bits and pieces that we're going to kind of glue in and, you know, clusters and things like that. So I've got here some more of that vintage, you know, theatre programme. So I'm just going to trim this down like that. Now I'm just going to back this onto some book page because it's obviously not that thick. So just going to get some book page. Hold on. Oops. It's just kind of stuck in my piece to the side. So all I'm going to do is glue it on where we're going to kind of roughly have it. Now I'm wondering, I mean, I quite like torn edges, as you know, so I may just kind of glue this down and then tear along the edge. So, you know, all I'm trying to do is really make it a little bit more, you know, robust to actually use in the journal. So that's that piece. And again, just take my glue spreader, just glue that down. Okay, so that's my first one. Whoops. Just take that out. And then let's just have a look at some more. I mean, this is probably somebody well known. Don't know whether it says on there. No, I can't see her name on that piece. I'm sure it does say it somewhere. But she's not somebody who, you know, I don't recognise her, but probably lots of you do. But I'm going to, again, just stick her onto... Well, I was going to stick her onto some book page, but actually I might stick her onto some card and have her as like a journaling card to pull out. So let me just grab some card to back her onto. Oops, no, that's quite yellow looking. Oh, can I see any that's just the right colour? Isn't this just always the way? I mean, I've just got, you know, you name it, it's here. Okay, got some more ivory kind of card. I mean, it's quite yellow to be fair, but I'm sure it will be fine. So I'm just going to, again, glue her down onto here. So she would just be a little pull-out item. Okie dokie. Just glue her down. Okay. Again, just take my glue spreader. Okay, so I can cut her out. I'll do that straight away because that just then lessens the piece of card that I'm using, so it's not quite so big and cumbersome on the workspace. So I'm going to just put the bits that I've glued behind me actually on the floor. So I'll take this piece and I will put this down on the floor as well. Just going to do some more glue spreading on this because it's looking a little bit bubbly. Okay, I'll just put that on the floor as well. Right, what else have I got in here? So we've got this. I quite like this piece here, so I think what I'm going to do is just fold that down. In fact, I could just double this over on itself to make that some sort of pocket. So again, just glue that together, and then I probably will maybe tear along this edge, I think, or perhaps I want it slightly smaller. Like that. Yeah, that's probably better. Okay, so again, just gluing down all around here. Okay. Again, just spread that glue. Oops. Getting very gluey again today for some reason. Not quite sure why I'm getting so gluey, and it's such early stages in the video. Okay, so again, I'm just going to put this piece down behind me, just whilst it's drying. And then let me just pull in the rest of that brochure and just see, you know, what else we've got that I might like to use. So I rather like this page, to be honest. This is really, really nice. Although I might like that somewhere on the cover. Yeah, I might like that somewhere on the cover. So I'm just going to put that over there towards the cover. Otherwise I'm likely to forget all about it. Okay, what's this page? Shows you must see. Well, that's quite nice, isn't it? Okay, let's try and make some sort of clusters out of this. So we've got that piece. Okay, let's just tear down the couple of bits that we can use here. And we'll just try and make a couple of clusters. So I've got that piece there, and then this one, we'll just then tear it down and hopefully get maybe three bits out of this to use as clusters. So, okay. Oops, a bit pointy there to the side, right. So I've got those, and I'll just see what else is in here. Okay, so I've got more people that I can use for more journaling cards and things. Let's have a look. Oh, this is lovely, isn't it? I wonder whether I could use that on a page or whether that's too big. Let's just have a look. I mean, it would take up the whole page, which maybe isn't quite so... I'll have a think about that one. And again, the same with this shoe. I mean, I love that shoe, but it is quite big unless I kind of have it in half, but then is that very, very strange? Probably is a bit strange, isn't it? Right, okay, let's just put that to the side. So let's just try and make a couple of clusters from these bits. So just put them down like that. And of course I've got the offcuts of my papers, so I'm just going to pull in, I've got this piece here, so we'll just tear some of that first of all. Okay. Maybe that one's there. Stamps here, so again, just a case of finding one that, you know, is going to be quite a good colour. The majority are these. I seem to be literally overwhelmed or overrun with those. Okay, I finished my tea. So whilst I was finishing my tea, I just grabbed a few other little bits and pieces to be able to use here for my clusters. So for instance here, I've just pulled in a few little bits and bobs. So I've got this butterfly here, just pulled in like another little piece there. So we could have the butterfly. I've also got some vintage, no, it's not vintage, sorry. Some coffee dyed doily. Yeah, definitely it's not vintage. And I just thought we'll just layer up a couple of bits like that. Might have some lace on there as well. So let me just fill in a little bit of lace. Okay, I've just got some kind of laying to the side. Okay, right. So I'm just going to get gluing all of these bits down. So just going to glue the layers on. So we've got that layer. We're going to have the doily piece here. Oops. And then we've got vintage postage stamp there. It's just little bits of printable. And then now just have a look quickly. So I'm going to ink this up, which I might do now, or actually I might just do it afterwards. So I'm just going to staple the butterfly on there, but actually, yeah, I think I do want to ink the butterfly up first at least. So these were some butterflies that I'd got in Happy Mail, which actually now I'm looking, I think I'm going to double it up because I've got plenty of those. So I'm going to use another one as well, so it just gives it some more layers then. So put that like that, and then just going to put that on there, and I'm going to just staple the whole thing like that. Okie dokie. Right, not happy with the shape of my cluster, so I'm just going to tear it down a little bit. I don't think I like this side either, so just tear that one down a bit more. Okay, and now I'm just going to ink the whole thing, which will hopefully kind of pull it together a little bit better. There we go. There we go. And around, and you know, including the lace. So there we have it. Okay, so that looks much more vintage now. Just going to get into that paper there as well. Right, okay, so there's one. Let's just move that to one side. Okay, the next one. So I'm suspecting that I'm going to have the same situation here where I'm not really liking the shape of this, but we'll just get started. So actually I think I'll pop it this way up, like that. And then I did actually think one of my umbrellas might be quite sweet on there. So I'll just cut around there. Okay. It's been a bit of a stop-start video already, hasn't it? And yeah, I suspect I'll be stopping again in a minute. Obviously, I'm still waiting for my cover to dry, and you know, then we can do some bits with the cover as well. So like that. Okie dokie. Right. So I'm just going to again just ink that umbrella up on its, you know, on its own first. Okie dokie. So that will go like that, and again just going to pop some of that doily down in the background. And then these stamps, I wonder if I can make them look a little bit more vintage. Not a little bit more vintage, sorry, I meant a little bit more, you know, less blue, more, I guess, blue-green, really. Okay, so I quite like that, I think. So going to do, whoops, like that. I wonder if we could have a little flower on there as well, because I've brought along everything but the kitchen sink, so might as well use it now we've brought it along here. So just going to pop that flower down there, and again just going to try and staple that all together. Don't know whether I'm going to get the umbrella. I think I did. Right, let's ink up the whole thing now. Oops. And then I'm going to just apply a little bit of glue as well, because, you know, just to make sure it's really held together well. So I'm just going to use some, whoa, hot glue. And that's just, you know, going through all of those layers, and again, just some on that umbrella, like that. Yay. Okay, so super quick and easy. So that's another little cluster. Whoops, just put that to one side. And then our last one, we've got this one, which, did I not have? No, I must have not had a little bit of blue paper on there. So again, just kind of layer it up. So we've got some doily there. Got one of those little decorative label pieces from the umbrellas. So let's just use that. So again, just, you know, not really being too fussy, because I'm going to ink it up. I just want this to look like an eclectic, you know, just, yeah, a little bit grungy, a little bit eclectic, a little bit, you know, hopefully still pretty, but all about the kind of squishy, nice kind of vintagey feel, hopefully. What did I do with my, there we go. Okie dokie. So we'll have that there. Got a butterfly. So we could have the butterfly on there. Also got this little chipboard tile piece, which as you can see, it's got a big chunk missing from it, but I thought if I positioned it right on the piece, then, you know, that's covered up anyway, so it's not too bad. So I might just ink this bottom bit up first, because I might struggle to do that afterwards. So let's just pop the doily down like that. I brought along some tea bag, and now I forgot to use it, so oops. So I'll just tear that tea bag out, or, you know, tear it down. Okie dokie. And then we can just cluster those little bits up on the tea bag. So just going to kind of fold the tea bag over so it's not so straight. Yeah, like it like that. So if I just hot glue this down, that will hopefully hold that tea bag down as well. Love that colour blue, don't you? Against that, it looks really, really pretty. Right, let me just get another glue stick out. Okay. And then we're going to have our clock. Wonder if we have it that side, because then it's at least the right way up. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to hot glue the clock down. So, I mean, never throw things away, because like that clock, you know, could have thrown it away, but actually it's still come in handy. So, yeah, don't throw things away. Even if they at first glance look like they're, you know, no good. The chances are you can just hide it, and then obviously you won't, you know, you won't be wasting it. Just wondering if we want some lace poking out as well. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? Yeah, I'm just going to pop that down. So I'm just going to put some glue direct onto the lace, and just then, it's just a little glimpse poking out there. So yeah, really, really pretty. Okay, so that's 3 little clusters that we've made. Just pick that hot glue off the desk. Right, let me move these bits now out of the way. Let's see how our cover's doing. Well, it's still not dry, which that's a bit of a shame, because I was really hoping that was going to be dry, but it's getting there. So I'm just going to tear off the sewing pattern paper, and I'm just literally going round tearing it. Don't want to be like, you know, too fussy. I want this to be, you know, a more eclectic than, you know, perfection. So we just go right the way round. Okay. Okie dokie, right. Okay, so even though it's not, you know, it's not 100% dry, it's good enough. So I think I'm going to have it, yeah, let me just decide. I mean, it really doesn't matter, to be honest, which way round I have it. Just, yeah, I prefer it this way round. I know, I just said it doesn't matter, and then I still said, oh, but I prefer it this way round. Oh, clearly just ignore me whenever I say anything like that. So I've got this piece that we kept by, sort of talking about using it for the cover. So I'm just going to tear it down. Okay. I'm thinking kind of like that. Now I also have here this little kind of booklet. It's just from 1989, so although it is, you know, vintage, it's not kind of really vintage, if you see what I mean. But it's got this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous image here, which, you know, I absolutely love my buildings and things. So I thought this would be really nice on the cover. So I'll just cut this out. Okay. Now, can I make an okay job of cutting around that? That's the question. Oops. Remains to be seen, obviously. Oh my goodness. Oh, come on. Oops. Okay. Yeah, I just thought this was a really lovely, you know, image. And I just thought, oh, it's perfect to have on a cover. So, yeah, I think that would look nice on there. Now, I'm kind of wondering whether I need something blue. Sorry about jogging the table there. Wondering about whether I need anything blue. And the other thing that I've got is I've got these labels, which I've tea bag covered. So I'm thinking they would be quite nice on here somewhere. Right. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this down. Yeah, I'm going to stick this down. So I'm just going to glue this on the cover. I mean, obviously in an ideal world, I would really leave this to dry properly before, you know, coming on, gluing more things on. But you know what it's like. Sometimes, you know, sometimes there's not really the time to just leave it to dry. So I'll just go with it and it's fine. So just have that there. And then what I would quite like to do is kind of use some gesso, like all over this, that hopefully is going to blend this in and tone it in a little bit. So let me move this stuff out of the way. And I'm just going to pour some gesso out. Oops. Again, you know, I really would be leaving this to dry in an ideal world. So, you know, I'm probably really, you know, not doing this kind of in the right way, but we're just going to go over there like that, and it will just hopefully blend in the sewing pattern paper with the piece that we've just glued on. And I want to just have some bits showing and some bits covered, not necessarily of this, but of the sewing pattern paper. So it just takes on then a sort of, well, I was going to say a leathery look, but to be fair, it probably had more of a leathery look when we could see the entire thing. But just, yeah, a bit more, I don't know really what to describe it as, but I guess just a bit softer. So just go over there in one or two spots where it's kind of gone on a little bit thick. Okay, so that looks quite nice. And I'm just going to go onto the back, and I will just go round the back with the gesso kind of, again, just, you know, in a sort of anywhere will do fashion. Really not kind of worried where I'm painting it on. Okay. Like that. I mean, I love how that looks, to be honest. It looks really lovely, just exactly as it is. But I mean, obviously we're going to do some other things too, so I don't know what yet. I don't have a plan in mind, but hopefully we're going to do some other things too. Right, there we go. So loving how that looks. Right, now I've also got some more doily. Oops, check that. Right, okay. Sometimes they're doubled, you know, and you don't realise they're kind of still stuck together. So I'm wondering if we could just layer up a couple of things here on the cover. And obviously this lovely image. I'm wondering whether I need to gesso over that image. What do you think? Because it's quite bright. Yeah, I don't know. It is quite bright. And then I have got these labels, which again, I thought might look quite good on the cover. Let's just, is that going to peel up? Yeah. Let's just have a look. Just tear that down. Okay. And again, you know, not too worried if it's kind of looking a bit tatty, because hopefully that's the look, you know, the look we're going for. But hopefully in a tatty but nice way. You know, not a tatty but awful way. Hopefully it's still going to look good. What do you think? I mean, I quite like that label there, to be honest. I think that's quite nice. Now, also, do we want some blue on this cover somewhere? Because, of course, you know, inside the journal is very blue. So would we want some blue anywhere actually on here? Oops, now I've stuck this down, forgetting it was a label. Okay. Yeah, I quite like that there. Right, okay, let's just try not to stick anything to the label. Easier said than done. Easier said than done. Okay, right. So pop that doily piece down. And then I'm just going to pop the label down. I mean, obviously this is a sticker, but I know I always say this, but I do like to, you know, use some glue as well, because I want to make sure it's properly stuck down, and I just never quite trust the stickiness of the stickers. You know, you don't want it suddenly peeling up again a few weeks down the line. I mean, I don't know whether it would, it might be fine, but it's just better to, you know, be really sure, isn't it? So I'm going to have that doily up there. Now I'm still debating, do I or don't I gesso the house? I mean, I quite like it as it is. Oh, I don't know. And then do we want just a couple of touches of blue, maybe with like some stamps or something? Oh, again, I've got loads of those same old stamps. Oh, look at this lovely stamp. Oh, I can't even see. Oh, yeah, I can't see whether that says Malaysia. Oh, Yugoslavia, I think that says. Aren't they lovely stamps? Gorgeous. So yeah, probably want to hoard those like a, you know, ridiculous person with the hoarding of the stamps. Let's see. I wonder if I could have just a couple of these instead. I mean, I need something down there. I'm not quite sure what. Do I want to have anything blue? That's the question. Just having a look, because I've also got my lovely blue shade umbrellas, but I've got a couple of pale ones. So I'm just going to take these. And also I've got this lovely shaped piece. Okay, let's just cut around there. I mean, that building image, it's looking, you know, it does look quite yellow, doesn't it? But if I gesso over it, it's going to then take on a bit of an appearance of everything else on the cover, which, you know, that maybe isn't quite ideal, because then it's going to then, you know, possibly just blend right in and not really stand out at all. Just going to cut down this umbrella. This one might be too pale, because I've got the umbrellas in my shop. I've got them in neutrals and I've got them in brights. So this is from the neutrals set. So I might be better off with some brights, but let's just have a look. Okay. Just chop that down. Okay, and then not too worried again, I'm just going to ink this up. Making a really bad job of cutting around that. I don't know why, that's probably the worst one I've ever cut out. I haven't really struggled cutting them out previously, but yeah, I have done today. Oh, that's quite sweet, isn't it? Yeah, I quite like that. So what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to glue the doily down. So I'm just going to take my Fabri-Tac rather than my tacky glue, just in case the tacky glue affects the coffee dyed effect. Sometimes it marks it. I wasn't so worried about that because that's just a very tiny piece, but on here I'd probably best, you know, take a bit more care. Oops. Oh, do I need to use my stick pin in here now? Possibly. Okay. Oh, come on. Okay, right. So just then get plenty of glue on here. Oh gosh, it's got fluff hanging off of there all over. So we just place that down here. Whoops. Like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to ink up these stamps because again that's looking quite bright. And this one as well. So we're just going to pop those there. Still can't decide, would you believe, about that other piece, whether it's just too yellow and whether I should be putting some gesso on it. Okay. Right, so in the first instance, I'm going to just stick these postage stamps down. So one and the other one. Okie dokie. Whoops. Just popped her right over his head, so could no longer see him at all. Okay, right. And then let's just ink around here. Yeah, I quite like that. I still, would you believe, can't decide whether to actually do anything with this or not. Do you know, I'm going to go for it as it is, I think. So let's just glue that down. Okie dokie. So we'll just pop that down like that, and again just take my dry wipe just to get any excess glue out. Okay. And then we're going to have this here. Now I'm just thinking, do we want to have that on some lace or something like that maybe? Or I do even have some Hessian here. I don't know whether the Hessian would look strange. Let's have a look. I mean, obviously this piece of Hessian has seen better days, but it's just been floating in my little bag. Oops. Let's just cut around there. Very, very straggly. Okay. way up. I don't mind it. I'm kind of thinking, I wonder if I could just gesso over the Hessian. So let's just get that now. And let's try a bit. I mean, I have painted Hessian before and it works fine. It's quite, you know, obviously it sucks in the paint a lot, if you see what I mean, but it looks quite good. So I'm just thinking the same for this now. So as you can probably see, it's kind of gone right through in the first bit, and then it's much paler, obviously, you know, where it's worn off of my brush further down. But I mean, it covers quite nicely. So it's just kind of given it a bit of an edge, I think. So, okay. It might still be that this is actually too big. Let's just try. Yeah, I think maybe that's the problem. It's a little bit on the big side, so I'm just going to cut that down a little bit more. A bit better. And then we could have the umbrella up here. And then I have got flowers and, you know, other things, of course. Of course, I've got other things all over the place. Just going to, again, just try this. I mean, this is a kind of satiny flower, so maybe I'm ruining this because it's just taking the nice shine off of the flower, but it looks kind of a little bit more, you know, embroidery-ish with the shine gone from it, which is quite pretty, isn't it? Right, so in here, I'm thinking it looks quite white in this piece. So obviously I could just ink that up, or I could actually place something in that space. So I've just got this little bit of lace here, which I could pop that down. That's quite nice, isn't it? And then we could just have something in this corner as well. I'm just literally looking through my little bag that's to the side of me and just pulling out bits that are sort of, you know, floating in the bag. I've got loads of this, you know, which is the same as that, obviously. So let's just see. Oh, it's a shame I couldn't glue it on exactly as it's fallen, because that looks good, doesn't it? Yeah, not a chance. Not a chance of doing that, is there? But I do really like it like that, I think. So, right, let's cut this down. Okay, right, this is going to be tricky because this is just full of holes. So how on earth you actually glue that on, I have no idea, but let's give it a go. That's just not going to work very well, is it? Right, let me just check that my Fabri-Tac is oozing out now. Okay. Right, here we go. Oops, it's now or never. I'm going to try and fill in, well, try and run glue around those filled in parts. I mean, as you can see, there's really no filled in parts to this. It's literally all holes. So I just, yeah, just going to dab the glue around just very randomly, and hopefully I've managed to get some glue somewhere. Okay, not ideal at all. Yeah, not great. Okay, I'm just going to glue that down. Don't mind if it's kind of a little bit, you know, not pulled taut, if you see what I mean. So it looks a bit more, you know, scrunched in a couple of places. So that looks quite nice, I think. Right. So this piece then, I'm going to glue. Do we think this is a bit on the big side? I could do with just cutting it down slightly. So I'm just going to cut it across here. Yeah, that's just a little bit better, isn't it? It was looking pretty full. Yeah, okay, right. Oh, again, for that joke of trying to trying to get some glue onto the fabric in some places. My gosh. I mean, obviously this is just going all over my hands really, not really probably going much on the fabric at all, but hopefully it's gone on there enough. Okay, right. So let's glue that down. Yay. Okay, right. And then here, just going to have this glued down here. So again, actually I'm just going to hot glue this because nice and quick, and then it's just on there. I don't have to worry anymore. And also the hot glue hopefully will help to hold that holy flower sort of fabric down a little bit as well. So okay, so that's that. And then, oops, just got a little bit of glue that I could see there. And then we're going to have this piece on here. Okay. Let's fabric tack this one down. Okay. Plenty of glue, because obviously it is going on to the, you know, the fabric, the hessian. So I wanted to make sure it's properly glued down. Okay, right, now my flower that I gessoed over. I can no longer see now which was the side and which wasn't. Assume it was that side. Okay, I quite like the flower there actually, so I'm going to put that there. Okay, right, that's just on there, and then we're going to put the umbrella down up here, and then I've just got this little offcut which perhaps we'll have that running down the side. The only thing is, does that look like a really strangely shaped S running down there? I hadn't really kind of thought that at first, but you know, like it's almost linked up, isn't it? So perhaps I'm better off with this going across the top. Yeah, I think I'm better off with it going across the top. So right, let's glue this umbrella down. Okay. And we just want it sort of slightly over here. Again, just get my wipe there to glue that down. Okay, looking good. Right, and then, oh, and more of this fun and games, trying to get this stuff on. Yeah, this is definitely tricky to find any filled in piece or bits to actually apply glue. Okay. Okay, right, there we go. Okay, so I like how that looks, and the only other thing that I'm thinking is it possibly needs something like a book plate or maybe a dictionary definition or something like that to just finish it off. So let me just have a look. I've got some of my friends and family definitions here. Let's take just this one down here. This might be too big. It says delight. Okay. Problem is, if I put it there, which seems the obvious place, it's then just completely covering up that whole label, which that's just ridiculous, isn't it? So perhaps I won't have that. Let's have a look and see if I do want an actual book plate. So hold on while I just grab my book plates in. And I have cut out a load of book plates now, so thinking need a smaller one. Oh, not that yellow one. Got that one. It's tricky, isn't it? Tricky. Just have a look. See if I've got some of the smaller ones just ready cut out. So just to spare you having to watch me cut out again. Oh, they're very dark. Look, I've coffee dyed those and they were on that photographic paper which goes quite yellowy. So yeah, although I have got smaller ones, they're not the right colour at all. I've got that one saying journal. No. Right, okay, let's just cut out this one saying memories up here. Okay. Oops, I don't think I've cut that very well. Oh gosh. Yeah, it's just a little fraction smaller, which just looks a little bit better, I think. So let me put those out the way again, and then I'm just going to ink this up a bit. Okie dokie. Yeah, it looks quite nice there, doesn't it? I mean, to be honest, it looks quite nice there as well, and I'm not covering the entire thing. So it could go over there, could go down there. Could even go there, or here. Actually, to be fair, it looks quite good in a lot of different places. Actually, maybe there. Maybe there. Oh, decisions yet again. Right, I'm going to go for it there. I'm not going to put the brads on or anything. I'm just going to have it there like that. I'm going to just hot glue it down. Like that. Okay, now I haven't decided how I'm going to decorate the back of this book up yet. So yeah, I need to kind of have a bit of a think about that. But that's our little cover for the journal, and the journal obviously is just going to go in there like that. So again, I haven't quite decided whether I'm going to now kind of stitch this in, or whether I might just kind of do it with the elastic or something like that, so you can just take it in and out. I might do that. But it's a good start, and yeah, I hope it's maybe given you some inspiration, and hopefully, yeah, see you guys again soon. So hope you like it, and thank you so much for watching. See you guys soon. Thanks then. Bye.